The ceiling fans? They're very attractive. The ceiling fans? They're very attractive.
Coming soon to wherever your Tell-Eyes Vision plays your programming. It's the new series called Yellowstone. Episode Trace, Return of the Sith. It's a story of a family. It's a very corrupt family with a son and his sort of demented father and his evil twin sister. And then there's also, I guess now, a grandson's involved and a chef and that guy that nobody wants to admit they're friends with but go to his parties and islands. And it's the father says, I'm going to put you in jail. And the son says, oh yeah, well, I'm going to put your grandson in jail. And meanwhile, the sister says, is no one still going to put me in jail? The one guy that did go to jail, well, I don't know what happened to him. It's very confusing. And now there's another brother, a sister, a brother and sister involved, and no one's going to jail. Very soon, but not yet. But the thing is, none of them really know that they're all just puppets to the real master. No, the real master. And so, they all play their parts. Who will win? Well, he doesn't know. Coming soon to your Tell-Eyes Vision, Yellowstone. Episode Trace, Return of the Sith.
Satellite tracking continues.
The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Get ready, so get set, so hang on, so buckle up, so sit tight, so strap yourself in, so brace yourself, so keep your eyes open, so fasten your seatbelt, so stick around, so hang on, so get ready. You just have to be ready. Brace yourself. What you're about to see will open your eyes. The surprises never stop. So you better hang on. So get ready. So fasten your seatbelt. So hold on tight. So hang on. So get ready to get ready. And get ready to get real.
Clickety-click.
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the fair use of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is substantially sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary. I say, moo.
I made a friend with a guy with no eyebrows. I was friends with him for years until I finally noticed. And when I finally noticed, he didn't look surprised.
Satellite tracking continues.
Wow. Wow. Hey, everybody. Man, there's so many comments. I couldn't keep up. You're all wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, what a blessing it is to be here again today, gathered together, and for God to use me in this way. It just takes me back because I don't even understand it, but his plan's more important than mine. And so if you've made it this far, we've made it again, another week gone. It seemed like I was just live, but here we are again. Whoop, whoop. You're on the correct side of the grass, the top side, whatever you deem it. You're alive. Pat yourself on the back. But more importantly, thank God in heaven, because what a blessing. The one thing that we don't think about over every other blessing that we have, that we see throughout our lives, is our very life itself. And what a blessing that is. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. I've got to turn the camera on so you can see who the heck's talking to you. If I can find the button. Again, I'm irritated that they moved all my buttons, and I've been looking through StreamYard tutorials to try to fix. I know I bitched about it last week, didn't I? All right, but I'm getting. What is it? Time to progress. Progress. Okay.
That's very true.
Clickety click.
There you are. Hey, not to be confused with progressives. Got it. Or the insurance. Hey, everybody. Let's see. Looking all right. That's as good as it's going to get. So if it looks bad on your screen, you can change the brightness or something. How's everyone doing? Everyone! I love that clip. I've got my coffee with me. You see, there's coffee in there. And what? Man, it's been quite a week. And once again, I want to thank everyone. All those comments, I couldn't keep up. It's either there's more people in the intro or you're just more prolific at your speech. Even though I'm having trouble right now myself. That's just the way this show works.
I don't care.
But in any case, the King of Tabs is again with you tonight. Let's see how many I've got. You want to peek? Let's all peek at my tabs. There we go. Read them and weep, Connor. Read them and weep. Oh, shoot. And man, talk about, and I'm not, again, I don't really talk about other, shows, but I got to tell you, if you haven't caught the last 2 episodes of what's it called, kind of the main character podcast, wow, man's been on fire. And it's interesting because when I have whatever they call these little rants that I go on sometimes, I've talked to my wife about it later. I don't even remember it. I watch it later and go, I said that too. And it's just, you get taken over by the Holy Spirit is all I can say. And prayers and things just come out of you, and it's fascinating. But he had at least 1 or 2 really good ones last Wednesday, was it? He's on Wednesdays, I think. So, but yeah, it was pretty amazing, right? What's that? Yeah, Trish will put the channel up. Trish put the channel up. But yeah, right? You agree, Rev? Yeah, that was something else, that last one. It's main character, that's what it's called. Main character. So check it out. It's some wild stuff. And it comes like towards the end kind of thing. He's got to get warmed up, kind of like I do. I kind of have to get warmed up before we get to the good stuff, and whatever that is. So yeah, DJ, you saw it too, right? It was deep. I'm telling you, it was deep. So what is this? My tabs look like well, that's the problem I do the same thing at work. So I've taken this sickness and put it into my work tabs too. So yeah. What was that, hon? Yeah, it was deep. I'm telling you, it really was. It really was. It really was. So and okay. And I like what he does. He says he likes to get the shilling out of the way. See, I'm gonna steal that from you, Connor. So I'd like to do the same. Just so you know, you're welcome to watch the show and just enjoy it and sit back and do nothing. If you could, though, hit the like button if you're enjoying it, and share and subscribe if you really want to. And then you can also, there's memberships you can buy, there's cash apps, and more importantly, my wife makes the best homemade soap that you'll ever scrub yourself with. Natural ingredients, handmade, and really reasonable. But we've sent out all the soaps. I'm in charge of marketing. This is the marketing part, and shipping. So I mailed all those out. So all our orders are out now. And if you'd like to support the channel this way and get some soap out of it, you can do it that way. So there's that. And then there's links. You can look on the description page. There's links there. And I do want to say thank you. There are still fans that use snail mail or, the post office. And they write me letters. They write postcards. My pen pal that wrote me postcards, I haven't seen anything from her in a while. So hopefully everything's okay there. But this last week, some people that had been watching me a while, and that's how this works. Like, you all are watching me and I have no idea, it's kind of some weird, creepy voyeurism on your part, I guess. And so they wrote to me and said they watch as a couple, which always, to me, that warms my heart when a couple can watch it together, because it's not always the case. Not everyone's on board, even in marriages and stuff, but they're watching it together. They watched, I guess, the episode where my wife was making food, and we needed to crush garlic. And I went old school and just kind of crushed it with the spoon and with my hand, because we had a really crappy garlic press, which I literally threw in the garbage on that video. And so anyways, long story short, but it's too late now. They sent me a garlic press. Oh, and it's an invisible one, which makes it even cooler. So how am I going to show this? I don't know, but it's there. Yeah, it's green. I didn't think of that. Yeah. So they sent us an invisible garlic press. So that's really nice. Isn't that funny? I didn't even think of that either until I put it up on screen. But anyways, you know who you are out there, and thank you so much for this invisible garlic press. It will be put to good use. Look at that. That's pretty wild. Yeah. So you can see the light chain. See, for those of you new to my channel, this is actually the Mariner 9 flying around Mars, but they forgot to Photoshop out the light chain. But maybe they have a light chain on it to see stars in the dark, right? Yeah. Or maybe. So, okay. Oh my goodness. So where are we at here? Yeah, like Wonder Woman's plane, right? Right. And it's a Predator press. I like that one, Gene. Did you hear that? Yeah. Yeah. You already laughed today? Fantastic. It's just getting started, Mad Pax. Right? Okay. People are laughing. The 007 press. Man, my audience is hilarious, Jeannie. Let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, I might. That's the thing. We'll probably have to. You know what? Maybe we'll put one of those Apple tags on it, so we want because we don't want to lose it. If we set it down, you're out. That's smart. Thank you for making me think that. That's good. So okay, yeah, and everyone else is enjoying this. Yes. So, so okay. Where are we at here? You guys are making me laugh. I haven't even started saying anything really. Let's see. It made it look like we can see through my head. Let's see. Oh, God. Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Yeah. I've got ceiling fan on the brain. Huh? Huh? Oh, this is as good as the jokes get. So if you're not liking these, it's probably time to switch stations, I guess. But for most of us, the problem with trying to leave here, regardless of how bad it looks, is
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
that's right. So, what's this? Daryl. Too much. Oh my God. Who knew I could kill half the show just talking about this invisible garlic press? So fantastic. Okay. All right. Where should we start? It's just been a long week. I tell you, there's been so much going on, but I want to make sure that people know that this show is based and always will be around our Father in heaven and the way through salvation through Jesus Christ, our Savior. So making sure that that is known, because I noticed Connor did it on his show a lot, and I feel that I don't do it enough, and I'm going to make sure that I do. Because I tell you something, I didn't wake up one day and say, I'd really like to do a podcast, really make no money, piss off a lot of friends and families for nothing. I didn't do that. I did it because God put it in my heart that he opened my eyes to the lies of the world and the times that we're in, and then said, run with it. And so I have to do this until I'm shown not to do it. I have to do this. They talk about Watchers on the Wall and all these movies and stuff. And that's where we're at, as far as, at least for me, if God's opened your eyes and shown you that, the world they're lying to you about most everything, and we'll get into some of that tonight. Then what do you do with that information? Do you hoard it away, or do you actually go out there and do as you're told, and let other people know, lest they perish? It's even written, in case you're wondering, it's in the book Ezekiel, where he says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Now, don't forget, he's not talking about the country. It didn't exist. He's talking about the children of Jacob, the children of Israel. And who are those people? Who are these people? When Jesus showed up, everyone, they're a disciple. They're all disciples of Christ. We're all his children. We're all grafted in. It doesn't matter where you started. We're grafted in at this point, every last one of us. And so he says, therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his or her life, that same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at thine hand. And if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, I lay a stumbling block before him. He shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered. but his blood I will require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, and thou righteous sin not, that he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. And so this passage, amongst others in the Bible, reminds us, if we see someone in error, we are required to tell them, because one day, each and every one of us, whether you believe in Jesus or the Bible or any of this or not, you live in the same world as I do. Every one of us is going to eventually have to stand before God, and he's going to go over our life, and we're going to have to explain ourselves. And if you get caught in a moment where you saw something, you didn't do anything about it, you're going to have to explain that. And so I'm going to continue to live my life in joy, but I'm going to continue to live my life to be as close to walking the walk that Jesus did as I possibly can. And if that means that you have to say uncomfortable things, then that means you have to say uncomfortable things. And most likely it's always shoot the messenger. And so if that happens, remember, you're dealing with your own salvation and your own rewards in heaven and your own afterlife. That's what you're dealing with. And how you treat people reflects on that you have to answer for. My dogs agree. And so just keep that knowledge in your head as best you can. And that walking the path is not easy. Jesus didn't say, hey, let's all go to the beach, grab a surfboard. He said, if you want to walk with him, you pick up your cross, which was a torture device for him, and you carry it. And he said they hated him, they're going to hate you. He said they turned away from him, they're going to turn away from you. If you're doing it correctly, then you should be seeing some of this objections. But it doesn't mean you need to stop doing what you're doing, because we're not supposed to be concerned with the world. You got to treat people with love, with fairness, love God, love yourself because you were made in his image, and love your neighbor as yourself. You do those three things, and Jesus says that's pretty much the entire laws or books written in your heart right there.
That's very true.
So I didn't actually know I was going to start about all this, but I wanted to thank, oh my gosh, look at this, Jeannie. Mad Pax, thank you so much. It's beautiful. I really do appreciate it. This is a very, it's, I don't know. It's, yeah, it's beautiful. You're amazing. Thank you. And then Dale Hess, the same thing. Praise the Most High, Jesus, King of Kings. Absolutely. Yeah. And when I started doing this channel, it was interesting. It was when I started doing this channel. I heard you. When I started doing this channel, it was about teaching the lies of the world. And then I started talking about God. And then at some point it was put in my heart, I had to mention Jesus. And so now I'm even more letting you all know where this channel is based, and it always will be. And so that's the reason I'm doing it, for no other reason. But man, those are beautiful. Thank you. You guys are wonderful. So yeah, exactly. What a blessing, Connor. Okay. All right, where should we go? Let me kill some of these tabs. Let's get into the show. And if you show up after this, you're going to get the tardy button. Not the tardy bus, the tardy button. Where am I at here? Can't find anything now. Oh, I'm not supposed to complain about that anymore, but I'm still gonna. Maybe she can't hear me. Okay. I'm still gonna. She can't hear me. Okay. So here's tab number 1 out of, I think, 70. I don't know. Okay. So this one, I think it's a way to the song kind of pumps up the room, but this one really makes me laugh. And you're like, what a sick guy. He's laughing at a child crying. Yeah, it's 8 seconds. Wait for the last few seconds. Am I right? Did you see that? Oh, it's not down there yet. The face on this dog. It's such satisfaction. It was funny, right? And now it's stuck. I can't play it again. But you guys saw it. Isn't that great? I just love his expression. And now you get the spinning wheel. Anyways, you saw it once. Oh, there we go. Anyways. Okay. So that hopefully I got you. Okay, you're laughing. Yeah, man's best friend. Yeah, except when you're a child. So, and this I just found it really interesting. So scientists have discovered a fungus in the Amazon rainforest. I guess Jeff Bezos has a forest named after him. And it naturally consumes plastic and could help save the planet. Right? Now, how did they know that? Did they put a water bottle and it like dissolved? Like, how did they know this? I don't understand. Do you understand? I don't understand. So, anyways, we're saved. Someone called Greta Thunberg and we'll get this taken care of. I'm so happy that we found this. This is probably one of the funniest news stories I think I've read. A man was arrested. And if it's fake, I don't care. It's still freaking funny. A man was arrested for putting fake arrow decals on the floor in IKEA, creating a labyrinth with no exit. And if that's not funny enough, then they put David Bowie in Labyrinth. Like that's the guy. That's fantastic. And I just had to make sure I asked my wife if that wasn't her, but we don't have an IKEA near her because that sounds like something she might do. So yeah, can you imagine that? Those stores are so annoying as it is. And then to follow the arrows and keep going in a loop. My goodness. I think Winnie the Pooh did that once with Tigger. Anyway, that was a random thought. Okay, what's next? You guys like that labyrinth thing? Yeah, okay. And this was interesting because, we think that these products haven't changed, but I thought this was really wild because, yeah, when we were a kid, it was popular to drink this Gatorade. I could even tell you, if you were to take it right now and open that jar, because it's glass, I know what the sound of the lid sounds like when you turn it and then it pops. And then when you screw it back on, because most of us didn't finish it the whole at one serving, whatever. But yeah, they pushed that on us through sports and stuff. But that was water, sugar, salt, potassium, and lemon juice. And the Gatorade today, I mean, I don't know. Like I can't even pronounce some of these things. And but don't worry, RFK is going to get most of these taken away, I think. Right? Isn't that how it works? I think that's who's supposed to save us. I don't know. Mad Pack says he might see a flying pan fly across the room. She's downstairs. If she can hit me from up there, from down there, that's amazing, and I deserve it, I guess, at that point. So, yeah, it started in Florida. Yeah, it was the whole Florida thing. You're right, Margaret. Yeah. So, okay, and don't even get me started on the energy drinks. I mean, look those things up, but no bueno, as my friend Steven says. What is this? That's funny. I don't even remember what this is. I pull stuff for this show, like from the moment the show's over last Friday, I start pulling things for the show. And so, yeah, Trish, I'm not going to test her. She, plus I don't throw a cast iron. I'll be good ish. Not on camera anyways. So yeah, I pull things immediately. Right, I stop from when the show ends last time. I start pulling things. I really don't remember what this is. Let me see. I don't, Jeannie. Looks like something from Breaking Bad. Is Walter White going to come out of here? What is this?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I remember this now. Okay, I now remember it. I'm not. I know.
Are you kidding?
This whole show is silly, Jeannie.
Me? Are you kidding me? Get the F out of my trailer. Get the F out of my trailer. Guys, get the F out of my trailer. Come on, it can't be in here. Come on, get it out. Seriously, Mom? Get it out.
You ruin everything.
Get it out.
Sounds worth it. Now I remember why I kept it. Yeah, yeah. If you're thinking the show's going to get better than this, you're sadly mistaken. Okay, what's next? Oh yeah, this was interesting because make sure there's no sound on it. I don't know, Mandela effect, whatever you want. We can go over some Mandela effect tonight, but regardless, I didn't know this, and most people didn't, that car phones and electric cars and a bunch of other things aren't new at all. In fact, this was, what year was this? It says 1940s in Italy. And see, they plug it in and you make a phone call. And we thought car phones were new. Apparently they've had them forever. So, yeah. Hello? Yes, I'd like to order pizza. So what do you mean it doesn't count? That's a car and that's a phone. How could that? Oh, shoot, she is going to throw the pan at me. That's a car and a phone. What else is it? Fine. Anyways, I've got to stop for a second because people are trying to sneak in and we can't have that on this show. Where is it? Where are you? There you are. Trying to sneak in and slide in your chair where the teachers don't see you. I know who you are.
I don't feel dirty. I don't feel dirty.
So you got two. I got two for that. I got two. So, okay. Let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, you agitated your account with, oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. It's really funny when I talk about it, especially with the Bible stuff. People get really upset and call a heretic and all that. And yet I can prove my side and they can't, what was the thing that I was thinking about today that, come on, Chad, help me out. What was I thinking about? Doesn't work like that, does it? I saw Groot just snuck in too. Yeah, I saw you. Well, that tardy bell goes for you too. So, okay. I can't think of it. Anyways. Oh, I do remember it now. See that? It worked. Thank you, chat. Let's see. Come on. Now my computer. Because that's what I need is another tab. But I got to do this. Crush. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's close that and we'll go to this and we'll put it in here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right there. 3:15. Here we go. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So for those of you, and especially Christians, that do not necessarily believe in the Mandela effect, that's okay. But what I'll say to you is there's a passage that I've heard many people say, and it's the way I remember it because it's a pretty specific passage. It's in when God is talking about right after Adam and Eve, they ate the fruit. And of course, Adam blames Eve and blames God because he says, you gave her to me. And then Eve blames the serpent. And then God gets really angry at the serpent. And then not only he says, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt eat. Thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. And the next part is, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. He shall crush thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And that's the way I remember it, because Jesus overcame everything, including Satan and the world, everything. He wins. We win. It's done. It is finished. He crushes his head, and all Satan can do is bruise his heel. However, if that's how you remember it, then the Mandela effect is affecting you, because it's never actually said that. And what really bothers me is what it does say now. And again, for those of you not sure, I only read the KJV, and this I'm looking at right here online is a KJV. And you can go look at your own Bible that you have in your house that you've had since you were a child, or however long you've had it. Doesn't matter how old it is. It will now say this: and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. He's referencing Jesus Christ here as it shall bruise. Crush is gone. It's now a fair fight. So he's now saying that Jesus will bruise and the serpent will bruise. But that is not it. It will never, in my mind, you cannot convince me I'm misremembering this passage. I don't care how long you've studied the Bible. God would not talk about Jesus as an it. And it was not a equal fight. He crushes his head. Now he just bruises. So, just saying. You can't convince me any more maybe than I can convince you it's changed. But that's a weird one for you to like try to put that in your head. Think that this is supposed to be Jesus. And it's the word it. So, try to figure that one out. Meanwhile, that's a car, and that's a phone. Car phone. Oh, yeah, weird, right, Rose? It's weird. It is. Weird, as Snow White says. She tilts her head, too. It's funny. Right, Allison? He and Crush. Right? Capital H. Right, Groot? Capital H. He and Crush. No, exactly. So, but yes, I digress, Denise. Let's see. Okay, we're all set here. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's kill some of these tabs. Pow. What is this? Oh, I thought this was cool. So there's some technology that is really cool. So this robot thing, it goes under a car, it lifts it up, and it moves it. So say goodbye to towing companies at this point, because it looks like it could tow just about any car. So they took your job. They did too with the tow companies. Look at that. How can a maneuver and put it down and then right back out and away it goes. So pretty wild, huh? It made me think about this guy I was telling my wife about, that I heard this guy, somebody's friend, that he went up to Mount Rainier and he had a 2022 Jaguar, and it's all electric, which I didn't even know they made those, and why you would take that to Mount Rainier. But in any case, he got stuck, and he called for a tow, and however long it took them to get out there, they showed up and they couldn't undo the parking brake because the electrical thing went out, and says, I can't help it. He left. And so I don't know what happened. I mean, hopefully he's not still there, but they really got a lot of people into these electric cars. And man, there's a lot of things, a lot of problems with them. I know I'm mostly watch and do my show off of X. So I know Elon, he watches my show, I would assume. I don't know. But dude, you got to fix these cars. I know you're not the Jaguar man, but this whole electrical thing, pretty wild. I'm off topic. Let's move on. What do we got here? Oh, Netflix is doing a new Trump movie. So I'm excited to see that one coming out very soon. So why are you laughing at? I think that's real. Let's see. And so yeah, so what's been going on? So in the saga of Trump and Elon and how they're friends and enemies and friends and enemies. So he said some stuff about Trump being on the list and the planes and the files and stuff, and they broke up, and then they kissed and made up, and then I guess they broke up again. And instead now what he does is Elon, he just has Grok speak for him basically. And so he asked Grok questions And then Grok answers it and says all the things that Elon is supposed to say about. But don't forget, it's all theater. All of this is theater. Just like we're enemies with certain countries in the world, but we're friends with everyone in space. We're enemies with certain countries in the world, but we're friends with everyone in Antarctica because everyone wants to save the penguins. And so whatever I report on, it's really difficult not to report on the nonsense of the world because there's so much of it. But don't let any of this get to you. Don't let any of this put fear into you because it's all just there for your entertainment. I know it's not entertaining, but that's what it's there for. Yeah, for us, it's entertaining. Absolutely. Because I'm not going to get worried about what Elon is asking Grok. And, because it's a legitimate question. We're supposed to forget about this guy Epstein, right? And because why are we still talking about this? Right, Connor? That was our show last week. Because that's what he said. Why are we still talking about this? I don't know. Everyone seems to want to talk about it except Trump. But anyways, I digress. So you got Grok says, who financed his Epstein's lifestyle in that island, right? What became of the sea surveillance footage from his properties? Why have certain high-profile names faced minimal legal consequences despite the allegations? How can we assure victim privacy while pursuing full accountability? And he goes on and on. That's Grok's questions, I mean, they said they had, like, here, the videos and photos are likely in a secure FBI evidence vault, heavily redacted or sealed to protect the victims. So, and many have been destroyed for protocol. So he's just basically keeps asking Grok the questions rather than just saying it out loud. And so that's how they're fighting now. They're fighting through Grok. So I don't know. At some point, yeah. Are you not entertained? Exactly, Jenny. You got to be. You got it. And it is. They're trying to shift us in an alternate reality. Jeannie, the rep says they're trying to shift us to an alternate reality where Epi didn't exist. You're right. That's what they're doing. That's what you're doing. So, and this, when I was growing up, they had these after school specials. And like you can still hear this guy singing, I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill, and and he goes through this whole process of how he becomes a law. When in actuality, it's this. How a bill becomes a law is they'll release the tapes if you don't vote yes. So it would have been a much quicker cartoon if they'd just done it correctly. So anyways, moving on. Then you got this. Is that who I think it is? On the streets of Thailand at 3 a.m.? It's either him or Bosch. It kind of looks like Bosch, doesn't it? Not really, just because he tilts his head. For those of you who don't know, there's a show, Bosch, where he's a cop, and he's always tilts his head when he talks to you. He's always like this, like this. It's kind of funny. Anyways, talking to like 3 people now. But isn't that something? I mean, is he dead? Is he alive? Who cares? You'll never know. You'll never know the answers to this. These and other answers will never come to you. So, and then they ask Grok, well, hypothetically, if he faked his death and underwent plastic surgery, this blurry photo could resemble him. Anyways, keep on going. But what's the point? Anyways, what's this? Is that's all distractions. Why? And everyone's talking about that. And what's that other one? I don't think I took a tab because it's so stupid. There's like some CEO of like what was it? Astronomy.com. I don't know, some company, and he was a huge CEO, and he went to a Coldplay concert, and he was having an affair with the CFO or the CPO, or I don't know, the CPU, whatever. Head of human resources of HR, of course. The one person you would they couldn't turn you into HR is if you have the affair with the HR person. So they're both married, and they're both not with their couple. They're with each other, and Coldplay puts them on the screen in the kiss cam, and they both duck down like, rats fleeing a ship or cockroaches when you turn the light on. And so that's just like huge news story right now. And then the other one is, the fake news of all the stuff that went on that didn't go on. Once again, I say, if Epstein and Maxwell traffic people, small little people, to no one, then why did he kill himself and why is she still in jail? Like, none of it makes sense. Make it make sense. No one can. But it's, once again, it's more just a distraction. Why isn't anyone talking about this? Why didn't the news discuss this about how $93 billion disappeared?
It's rare that I'm speechless.
It's always a Kennedy, too. How many freaking Kennedys are there?
But I want to be sure I understood. The people running the Department of Energy for President Biden's administration shoveled $93 billion, not million, $93 billion out the door.
Is this his handler? I'm just wondering.
In 76 days, and it just happened to be the time between when President Trump was elected and President.
Yeah, I mean, lower this. I don't know what the music is. Is that right? And the guy says,
"It is correct and distasteful."
That's it. That's all you get. So $93 billion disappeared in the period of time between Biden leaving and Trump showing up. And, we're correct about that number, and it's distasteful. And then they went to lunch. No one talks about this. We're going to talk about the guy having the affair at Coldplay. We're going to talk about what did or didn't happen with the flight logs and all that stuff. But no one mentions this because what? This isn't important, I guess. So, what was that got like 2,600 views? And if I pull up the Coldplay thing, it's probably got millions. So, all right, what's next? And then what's interesting, so for my thumbnails, was when I come up with ideas for the thumbnails, I really never know. Sometimes I do, and I have an idea of what I want to do. But yeah, exactly, Connor. It's just like what happened in what you said on that day in September where they lost all that money, and then suddenly we were worried about other things. And so I did the thumbnail, and when I was a kid growing up, I loved Snoopy, and he would fly the Sop with Camel, and he would write books, and he would always start them with, "It was a dark and stormy night." So that was the inspiration. But meanwhile, we're talking about all this other stuff when, like, look, you decide. Some people say climate change, some people say weather modification, but what's going on around the world is crazy. Where's this one? No, there's no sound on this one anyways. This is in the Philippines where Epstein was walking around. So that's happening in the Philippines. There's been flooding. I covered it last week. I think I forget, but how many states? Oh, I remember exactly now. 33. 33 states were experiencing flooding and disasters from water. And now this is in the Philippines. And this one is in Guatemala. Are you coming to see me, Kitty? Might have to stop this. If she comes closer, I can grab her. What are you doing, honey? Oh, she moved out of my way. She heard you're feeding the dogs, I think. That's what happened. She's a dog. Feed her. So this is in Guatemala. Same stuff.
Ni cuando crucé el río Bravo estaba así de feo.
Flooding going on, not just all over the country.
No que yo estoy feo, sino que el río está feo.
Or the plain, earth, whatever you want to say.
Se inunda la ciudad. Pensé que en los Esclavos Unidos no había inundaciones aquí por donde yo vivía, pero ya veo que sí.
You got that going on there.
Ni cuando crucé.
Where's this one? This one is in South Korea. They've had 3 days of flooding in South Korea at the time of this newscast. It's just nuts. That's nuts. Yeah, watch the water, Groot. You're right. Stephanie, you're late, but I'll hit you with the tardy button later. Almost got her. She walked by. So yeah, it's nuts what's going on. That one is where was that? South Korea. And then you got this one. This is in Russia. That's Russia. And this one is in Bucharest. That one's loud. Let's lower the volume on that. That's intense.
Nu mai merge închisă.
Close the door. There you go. So there's that one. But wait, there's more. This is in Mexico. I mean, I'm not going to say biblical, but it looks biblical. Got lightning on this one. I mean, we're all worried about, we're not, but people are worried about the files and the list and whatever. And these people, they don't give two craps about that because they're literally struggling for their lives. It literally puts your life in perspective, honestly. I talked with a lady that she had a tree completely demolish her home. And it's been 5 months and they still haven't, she's still without a home. It's no matter what we're dealing with, or each one of us is dealing with in our lives, there's probably somebody dealing with something harder. So just remember that and keep everyone in your prayers. Is that all of them? No, we got another one. This is also in Mexico. Stephanie was late because her car wouldn't start, but at least she didn't have this excuse. Their car's gone. Yeah. I mean, just on and on and on. I think that's the same car farther down the street. I don't know, man. Crazy times we're in. Crazy times. And then there's another one. This is Russia again. Not sure what dumping it out World Cup will do on it. I guess you do what you can. So I don't know if it came on them really fast or they tried to drive somewhere that probably they shouldn't have. I don't know. And this one is, where is it? This one's the Wang Pha district in Thailand. And they're basically saying there's flash flood warnings and stuff, something they didn't do with Texas. So you got that going on. Is that everything now with the weather? No, this one was Bucharest. I don't know if you can even see the amount of water that's rushing down there. Anyways, so dear Lord, pray for all those people. There's some craziness going on in weather in this world, and a lot of people are being affected and hurt. And so please keep them in your prayers. And dear Lord Jesus, please watch over all of us through these times and help us and heal us and protect us in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, now what? What is this? Oh, another thing just to make you laugh. This guy looked at this celebrity's video and recreated it. These are the dumb things that make me laugh, just saying. Right? See, you get tears and sadness, and then you get that. Come on, that's just saying. Anyways, if you find the cat, grab her and bring her up here. She keeps teasing me and running by my feet and stuff. Like, yeah, can't catch me. That's what she's doing. So, anyways, okay, where are we at? There's 145 in this stream. God bless you all. Thank you. And if you're enjoying yourself, please don't forget to hit the like button. Okay. And this, it's just, if you're old enough to know, and it's funny, I showed this to my wife, and she used to drive pizzas for Domino's. Kind of funny. But I had friends that did, and I used to watch them. And so before the internet, these people would take your order, they would write down an address and deliver a pizza to your home in less than 30 minutes, or it was free. And they would use a paper map, like some sort of mystical land pirate. and if they weren't sure, they had a giant map on the wall, and 2 or 3 of them would go out there and plot them. It was really fascinating to watch. And nowadays, I mean, I use GPS to find the house. Honestly, it's like crazy how much we depend on these machines. And I do. I can find the house, though. That's not true. Barely. Okay. You're awfully vocal for a silent wife down there. She have a frying pan in her hand? Just heading up here. Do you have a cat? No. She's running away from me. No cat or frying pan, I hope. But yeah, pretty fascinating. Oh, there she goes.
There she goes.
Maybe she'll come up. Maybe she'll go up there and you can get her. Come on, they want to see you, cat.
Cat.
Whatever. You're being a brat, cat. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the thing. All right, what's next? And the pizza back then was good. Domino's actually made good pizza at one time. I'm not a fan of it now, but man, they sure made it good back then. If you were up at night, say around 11 or midnight, and maybe you've partaken in something that made you hungry, you couldn't beat sitting in front of a Domino's eating an entire pizza. Just saying. Just saying. I mean, I've heard. I'm not saying I was. Are you going to get up here, cat, or what? You're just going to be weird. She just ran by me again. Whatever. And again, I'm just dating myself for those of us that are old enough. Dear auto industry, please bring back the ball chiller that vent. Thank you. Say men everywhere. Do you remember these vents? Not that you care, Jeannie, but they used to have a vent right there under the steering wheel. Well, for chilling your balls. What do you mean for what? I don't know, but it was there. Yeah. And hi, Debs. It's okay if you don't chat. You can just watch and lurk. So, but I do that a lot because it's really hard to listen to the show and what's going on and chat. So, but then again, there's people that have no problem with it. So, and I applaud them because they're part of the show too. So, and see, and now you're part of the show. Now you funny too. It's got to be my most favorite line, I think, from George Thorogood. When he asked if his wife would let the guy stay over, he comes back and says, "No, she kind of funny." And George Thorogood goes, "I know. Now you funny too." So, oh, okay. What's next? So, okay. What do we got here? I'm all over the place. I'm firing through the tabs, so we're okay. Let's see what everyone's in here doing. Let's see. What is this? That's really funny. That's really funny. So, you remember those? Yeah. Yeah. And there's no key. There's no key for cars anymore. I mean, there are, but you don't use them. Right. Yeah. And then, hey, Jeannie, how about this? It's a coochie chiller. That's pretty funny too, right? That one actually deserves coochie chiller. So, what else do we get? Let's see. We all good here. I think that's everyone that I can catch. The chat is flying. Thank you all. So, does yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, and there still is, at least close to it. So, what a cool name, Rise and Shine. And you're on the top side of the grass. See that? The top side of the grass. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, that's what I was referencing. You caught that. Yeah. Catch me if you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. Yeah. So, yes, thank you. Okay. No idea what this is referencing, but funny, I guess. Avoid the Noid. Yeah, I remember that too. That was in the 80s, right? And yeah, we know they're all bad for you now. I get it. And maybe it was back then too. It just tasted way better. If you're going to get chemicals in your body, at least have them taste good is what I think. So, and it's neither now good nor cheap, right? We've lost both. Before beepers. Remember beepers? See, I'm losing some of the audience, I'm sure. But it's all right. What do I care? It's, where's my guy? Here. He's this guy. There.
I don't care.
But back in the day before cell phones, you had beepers. And so you'd call someone on their beeper and it would beep. And it would just, all you could do is put in your phone number. I think you got to the point where you could put little quick messages in there. And then they'd have to find a payphone, drop a dime or 20 cents. She's not in the mood, but, oh, don't get hurt. Get him, Sarah. Get them all. Look right there. No, look in the camera. Yeah. Get them all. Get them all. Get him. How you doing, honey? You haven't fought in a while. We should fight soon. We got to shoot some more video. Okay. Can you work on that? Want to fight now? No, you don't like to fight on camera. So, all right. I'll let you go. Thanks for visiting. I got cat hair all over me. Okay. I'm feeling that the rest of the show. All right. What's next? Am I having an issue with the internet? Yeah, it looks like it. But yeah. Yeah, I've been having issues all day with the internet. So, oh, thanks. Yeah, she is gorgeous. I'll admit that. So, and you have her cousin, and he's huge. Oh, okay. But paging Dr. B. Yeah, they started with doctors, I guess, and then the rest of us PNs got them. So, and yes, that's why it tastes so good. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that was Sarah. So, all right. They catch everyone. Let's see. And, oh, yeah, the answering machine. And you had to put in, and they had these like mini cassettes they came out with. And then, yeah, and then they would eat it. And so, like, you'd hear that someone called and then you couldn't hear the message. And, yeah, it's amazing technology days that we've advanced. But have we advanced? Because now everybody's got these mini computers tracking them all over the place in their pockets or their car or wherever. And, you know, do the whole old school thing. We used to, no tracking. We'd take off for the day and our parents would just say, come home when it got dark. And that was it. So, oh, you all had beepers? You had a Sky pager? So, yeah. Pager. Yep. Okay, so there's a few people that had pagers. So that's good. You'd love to have a pizza delivered? I can't. What state are you in? We could try. I don't know. I'll tell you what happened here. I did a show one night and with Rose, and she delivered a 6-pack of beer. It was really hilarious. It's mind-boggling where we've gotten to this society where instant gratification on stuff, that you can be across the country and send something to someone else and they get it right away. And I got cat here. Sarah. But yeah. So where are we at here? All right, we can really go down memory lane if you want. You know, the music came in vinyl, and when the streetlights came on, the music came in vinyl. I talked about that too, because the reason that my generation is kind of angry at music is we had to buy the vinyl, and then we had to buy the 8-track, and then we had to buy the cassette, and then we had to buy the CD, and then we had to get a MP3 player. And now you have to buy a subscription to listen to the music that you've already owned in all those different ways. What do we have for that? Patty, are you here? Dang. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. So, okay. Let's see. What's next? Use the popsicle stick. I always use the number 2 pencil. So, anyways. Okay. So where are we at here? She is here. The tiger always brings Patty out of the chat. Isn't that hilarious? Okay, just for you, Patty, since you said hi. There. Just, you'll only see that here on this channel. So there you are. Boom, baby. Okay. How's everyone doing? Nice. Okay. Where should we go from here? About to sing Axl Rose. Isn't that his song? Where do we go? Okay. Nobody wants that. Next. Clickety click. Keep singing, she says. Yeah. So just more examples of things that were built, in the old world. We're much more technology advanced now, of course, than these stupid people back then, because they were able to do this with hand tools, giant horses, and carriages. So hats off to these people that they could accomplish something that nowadays we just build boxes. But we're more advanced, right? So, anyways. And what are all these spires for? Anyone? Bueller? Who moved these? What kind of horse and buggy moves these things?
Monolith at the Yangshan Quarry measures 30 meters in length and weighs an astonishing 16,000 tons.
Now, what size horses do you need to move this thing? Anyone?
The second, an oval-shaped block, is even longer, 50 meters, and weighs around 9,000 tons.
Okay. That's a lot of horses. Oh, you think blimps helped, Mike? Maybe.
The third, though slightly smaller, is still a colossal 6,000 tons.
Yeah, it's hardly anything. Right? Maybe. It definitely wasn't a Shetland pony. Crazy John said Shetland pony. They're way too small for that. But that's okay. I don't hold it against you. He's crazy. Don't tell him I said that. That's why I whisper it. So he's been around since the beginning. Yeah. We've seen him around here a long time. A lot of faces I've seen a long time. 20 mule team, says Stephanie, maybe. I still don't think they could move some of these blocks or build some of. Look at this.
1,000-ton stone. The number of workers could easily climb into the hundreds of thousands, perhaps even over 1 million.
And where'd all these workers come from? And they had all this time to build this stuff? Like, none of this makes sense. They show all these narratives to us, but they don't make sense. So, all right. What's next? It's enough of that. How about this one? This is the Chicago fire. And it's a fire, but yet they're all in rubble and stuff. We don't know. Originally, what is this story, I think? And these are, of course, they say, who are these people? Who are these people? You got the top hat man. So we know he's a Mason handler or whatever. And then look at the guy doing the hidden hand sign. So we know who these people are, and they've shown up after the reset, God's judgment. I don't say anything else on this channel. That's the only thing that can melt stone to this point that it looks now that we live in this fallen world that we've founded, and all these plaques will say founded because that's what they did. And they're going to tell you that this Chicago, I think that's the one, or was it Frisco? I get them mixed up, where a cow kicks over a lantern and then burns down the whole city. Because why? If everything was made of like straw and sticks and stuff, but these things are made of stone, of brick. It doesn't make sense that the fire could be so intense that it would cause this kind of destruction. However, God says many times in the Bible that he brings destruction and he can make things melt like wax. So on one hand, we have all of the evidence. Let's go over here. The wood burned inside? Yeah. We have all the evidence of God's destruction and an explanation on multiple times when he's brought destruction to the earth. And some of this could even be revelation. That's what I think. I think we're in the short season. We're past this, which means that this could be from that too. There's no way, none of us were there. None of us will be able to tell you for certain. But what I can tell you is there's nothing on earth that we know of that can create this scenario that you see here, where things get melted from the bottom or from the top, or sometimes both. There's no evidence of any idea that we can do on earth. And when you look at these structures that you think are just a mountain, and you think these are natural formations of rocks, you can see bricks in them. Right there. It makes no sense to have bricks inside a mountain. Nobody climbed up here and put these in place and then left. This is from God's destruction, written about in the Bible. It's not a mud flood or X or any of that other weird stuff. This is God's destruction. Call it what you want, but that's what it is. It's like saying there's many names for God. Maybe, but there's only one. And there's only one way to God, and that's through Jesus. You can call this an X factor or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, this is God's judgment. He left these things for us to see, to know the times that we're in. We're in the aftermath of a fallen world. Nobody came up here and just randomly threw bricks in the side of this mountain. That does not compute. Nobody randomly went out and decided to put some bricks right here in this rock. It's because this was a structure of some kind. God's judgment hit it, and it got melted like wax. And you can see it throughout the whole thing. And these are areas where the bricks didn't melt. That's it. It's really easy to show the proof of this. It's everywhere. Everywhere you look. You think that someone showed up, they built this rock wall with all these different types of rocks, and then they left this giant rock in the middle and then built the rest of this castle, whatever is on top of that? Where's my guy? He's one of these.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
Right? It doesn't. How do I get back to where I was? Let's see. We already looked at that one. Get rid of that. Yeah, there. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing you can say is this got melted. How did it get melted? What was the temperature? Who did it? How often did it happen? Why did they do it? There's no answer. It's crickets. It's silence. Unless you open the Bible where you read that God does this. Judgments. Sodom and Gomorrah. But there's more than just the only city most people know about. There's been multiple judgments. Go look at all of the churches that are listed in Revelation, and they're all gone. They're all rubble. They've all been destroyed. There's a weird place to put stairs randomly, don't you think? You can see some red bricks over here too. It's everywhere. All you have to do is just start looking for it and you can't miss it. There's no way that and you're going to talk erosion and stuff, but then why didn't everything else erode equally? No, it's just certain areas. This is completely fine. This entire thing was a structure of some kind. And then what happens? Nature always fills in. So eventually this whole area most likely will get covered in plants and trees and whatever. And if you were to look at it, 50 years from now, it'll just look like another mountain. But no, it has structure. It was built. Do I think everything on earth was built? No. There was mountains before we started building these things and God destroyed them. Look at this castle. Can't you just see it? If this was melting, you can see the melt of it. See that? It's all through there. This whole thing was a structure, and potentially it went down even farther, and it's been buried up at this point. And if you look over here, most likely this whole thing was another structure too. Can I prove that? No. But I can see it. I can see there's bricks and things that shouldn't be there. And of course, we can always go back to Petra. Petra's a great example of this. I mean, you could just see this city got hit and destroyed most likely by some intense heat. In my opinion. Can I prove that? No. I wasn't there. But look at that. It's pretty fascinating. So nobody can prove or say what caused this. However, the Bible describes it exactly. And so on one hand, you have nothing. And on the other hand, you have the little word of God written down for us to understand for the times that we're in. Otherwise, none of this matters. What do I care that this looks melted? What does it matter if it's not about God and his judgment? This is just a cool picture, and then you move on. Just like my entire life, you see all these wild, crazy buildings, and you don't even question how they were built with the remedial tools and stuff that they had back then. They're just amazing structures. It's the same with this. That's an incredible example of something that was melted. I mean, otherwise you think that someone went up and bricked in these areas in this rock? For what purpose? So if you would agree, or at least can see that this whole thing was a structure, that some cataclysmic event happened to it, on one hand, you have God explaining to you what happened. And on the other hand, you have nothing. I haven't heard anything other than that. Nothing. They have nothing on that side. If you take out the Bible and God's judgment, and you can't explain what temperature did this get to do this? Why did it do this? How did it happen? Who did it? What was the purpose? How many times did it happen? You'll never have those answers. Go read the book of Job. It happens all the time. God finally says to him, sit down, gird up your loins, and act like a man. I'm going to explain things to you that you know nothing of, because we don't. No one can tell you how this happened. All we can do is look at what's happened before we got here. That's it. We have no other information than looking at the remnants of a world that was there before us and trying to explain it. This whole thing was structure. You can see bricks that have been expanded down here, and then you've got the quote rock in here, but you can see the lines. They go all the way through, and these lines go all the way across right through this. And then you can see bricks through here, but it looks like it's just rock. That's what's going on. These buildings have been melted in some way beyond our comprehension. And you either realize that God told you that this happened in the past, or you don't. You think that it happened by, I don't know, microwaves. What's that thing that they say, the dew weapon, mud flooding, whatever. All I see is God's judgment. Simple, end of story. Look at this. Look at that. Can't you see that this was multiple buildings? That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Is that the last one? Oh, we got, no, another one. Yeah. Look at that one. Yeah, that last was Bolivia. Yeah. Well, it's a, what do you call it? The delay. Like you'll hear that cough in a few minutes. So there you go. That's the way I see it. And that's the way I'll ever see it. I can't see it any other way. So. But can I explain how that happened? Other than what God wrote down? Can I explain when it happened? Can I explain how often it happened?
There are no experts.
Does this make it full screen? Well, it's too late now. Too late now. So, oh, bless you. I mean, bless you. That's my voice. And then I snorted. I got to get off the camera. Is that what it is? You have lemonade? Oh, I'd love some lemonade. That'd be awesome. Oh, okay. I don't know if are we ever going to use this as a, yes, of course we will. But for right now, I think I'll just keep it up here as a prop because look at that. That's kind of weird looking. I can see you better. So I'm just waiting for my lemonade. Are we just a crazy bunch of people? Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. I've been called worse before. All I say is you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. So there's that. Okay. Where are we at here? What is this? Yeah, wrath. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Okay, what's next? Oh, okay. Jeannie, this is a joke so far of the night. Not disparaging any of the other jokes. They've been fantastic, but that one. Allison says she appreciates my transparency. Can you see the screen down there? That's pretty funny. I'll give you that one. Okay. What's next? Wait, you're tardy? My goodness. You've missed a huge part of the show. Do you feel tardy?
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel tardy.
All right. What's next? Let's see what we got here. Did I get everybody? Okay. What should we do while I wait for my lemonade? Oh, I know what we can do. Where is this? Let me find that guy. Here he is.
This week in scary space news.
Good for you, lemonade.
It is good for me. Oh, you put stuff in it? She always puts healthy stuff in my unhealthy stuff. Thank you, honey. Oh, do you want? It is, but I can taste the healthy stuff in there. It's more than just sugar water and lemons. There's something in there. There's something in there. I don't know. She's not going to tell me. That's okay. I'd rather not know. So just for those playing at home, Trish wants this larger. I can't. It's as large as I can make that. I mean, I could, but I'd have to get out of the screen share and then I'd mess it all up. So, but yeah, just remember to all those people out there that are making fun of you, This is what you think, and you're crazy, and this is what they think, and they're normal. So that's really weird. It tastes really good, and then it's got the aftertaste saying there's something healthy in there. I don't know. It's like two-tone. It's a little bit of both. Should I have mixed it more? Whatever. We're doing scary space news. So, okay. NASA. Oh, this is an old article. How'd this get in there? Is it good for my brain? Yeah. Thank the Lord. Why didn't you give me this earlier then? So, yeah, I guess I missed this news story because this came out a few years ago. But in any case, NASA is going to build a home on the moon in 2040, and you can rent it like an Airbnb. Isn't that fantastic? I wonder if that'll be on Expedia.com or one of those sites. It'd be funny if Airbnb starts renting out places on the moon. So, yeah. And this, never heard of this incident, just showed up in my feed. So apparently in 1996, you can look this up. It's called the Tether incident. And a 12-mile cable snapped in space. And then, of course, what? It was immediately swarmed. It was immediately swarmed by orbs. And I know they've been talking a lot about orbs lately in our society. So they've been actually introducing orbs to us for a long time.
Again, just moving into sunrise.
So, anyways, I never heard of this incident until now. But all these orbs, I don't know. It looks like a pin on a petri dish, and those are just like weird water things.
Well, the long line is a tether, and there's a little bit of debris that kind of flies with us.
But if it was underwater, maybe that's all this is, right?
And it's illuminated by the sun at such low angle. So this is
anyways, whatever that is. Then, of course, China, they tested out the firmament. They fought the law, and the law won. They lost. Oops, loud noises. You got this. Pachoosh. Oh, no, it's breaking the atmosphere. Now it's heading out into space. No, it hit the firmament, and it's skidding along it just like you would see in water. This thing is toast. Here's another view of it. And there it is. It's going up. And they always have in these videos birds flying by. It makes it more realistic, I guess. Or those planes. No, those look birds. Who cares? Who knows? Anyways, this thing goes up, does its thing. Yay, we're going to space, everyone. And then, kaboosh, it hits the firmament. And there it goes. Oh, no, that's when it breaks the atmosphere and heads out into space. Sure. Just like the Challenger, allegedly, which was fake, too. What's next? And for my friends and family and neighbors and loved ones and people that think that the moon is solid, and I've seen stars through the moon, this person actually captured Mars through the moon right there. And it's not a trick of the light. It's not a camera angle. It's the moon. And it's Mars. It's hard to see it there, but you can see it. See? It's this little dot here. And that's it. You can't try to explain it away with lighting or cameras or whatever. You can, but I won't believe you because you can see it with your own eyes. The moon is translucent. When it's in the night or the day sky, it's the color of the sky. In fact, it's been out in the daytime actually more than at night lately. And you can see through it, whatever the color of the sky is. If it's a black sky, you see black. And if it's a blue sky, you see blue and different shades within. It's a light. God said he put a light. He didn't say he put a a rock. He put a light. That's why you can read by it when it's really a full moon and it's bright. How come when they're standing on it, when they're on the moon, how come that it wasn't like so bright they couldn't see? It doesn't make sense. Of course not. Whatever. Why do they lie to you about space? Same thing. We're back to the same discussion. They're trying to hide the existence of God. End of story. Yeah, they make money off us, but they make money off everything. I just showed you where they lost, and that wasn't, I don't know, 70 or 96 billion dollars. They can take money and steal from us anytime they want. The main thing here is they don't want you to know who you are and that God exists and he's real. They want you to think you live on a tiny ball flying through space and there's no one here to save you. Well, other than Trump and Elon, but there's no one here to save you. And none of that's true. We're all children of God. Doesn't matter what your beginning is. We're all together. So, and what's that? Oh, all right. Let me get in here. God bless you, Jenny. And you and Logan have been with us a long time. So we've seen a lot from the beginning. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Used to do live streams, Jenny. Then he wisened up and got off camera and let me take the heat. But no, God bless you. Thank you so much. It's very appreciated. Yes. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, they say it's out of focus, right? They say that's out of focus and that's why. But at the same time, we're supposed to believe, where is it? Let me find where was I? We were here. To play the intro. We were here. Scary Space News. Da, 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 there we go. But this is in focus, right? For the first time, astronomers have captured the birth of a new solar system. There it is. Proof, right? That's proof, G. Photo or painting? Who knows what that is? It's supposed to be the birth of a star. I don't know which side is birthing it. This side or that side. I don't quite get it. But a fish blowing out of its mouth. Yeah. It's kind of like Rorschach test. You almost see what you want in it, right? What's next? A fish with a lure? I like it. Missy thinks it looks like a bug. And here's the James Webb confirms there's something seriously wrong with our understanding of the universe and reveals unknown physics exists. So now think of this. That last thing I showed you was quote unquote a real photo. This quote unquote was just an animated drawing of what is going on in the universe. So again, not to quote Math Powerland, but photo or painting, they're all the same, right? So let's see. What's next? What is this? Astronomers discover a triple galaxy, which is a galaxy within a galaxy within a galaxy. Sounds like Inception. Located 600 million light years from Earth. Nobody knows how or why it exists. So that's cool, right? Isn't that wild that somebody they just make this up and everyone eats it up and they don't question it at all. They don't. Yeah, maybe. Here's the largest merger of a black hole forms 225 times the mass of the sun. There you go. I don't know. It's ridiculous, Scary Space News. Oh, and who sent me this? Was it Trevor, I think? That in November of 2023, they found a giant hunk of Mars in the desert. I mean, how do you even come up with that? How do you decide, oh, look what I found. It must have come from Mars. Like, I don't understand. But meanwhile, they're going to sell it allegedly $4 million. But I've talked about this before. To me, that's just a way of doing money laundering. Like we used to laugh at the people that bought like the grilled cheese sandwich with Jesus' face on it for like $1 million. It's just money laundering. That's all it is, right in your face. Somebody's going to spend $4 million on this rock because someone else told them. How do you prove it? Like, what do they call that? There's a thing that you have to use for lineage and stuff to prove it. How do you prove this came from Mars? It's the largest rock from Mars found on Earth. It weighs 55 pounds, and it's up for sale. It's estimated to fetch in between $2 to $4 million. So, but this is an older article, so maybe I didn't find. Oh, no, this one's new. Yeah, July 14th. So, I guess it did. It must have gone up for auction this week. So, I don't know. I don't have I'll have to come up with an update. I don't know how much they actually spent on this. So, yeah. Martian meteor, like a chunk of Mars, broke off and flew into space and then eventually found its way to Earth. You don't believe that, Connor? You see it flying around and like dodging things and getting in, and finally finding Earth and landing somewhere deep in the Sahara Desert. And how'd we find it? A meteorite hunter, of course. I didn't even know that was a thing. So, is this him? No, this is the auctioneer guy. I was wondering if he was the meteor hunter. So, is that Vin Diesel? No, that's probably Vin Unleaded. That's pretty funny, I think. I'm laughing at my own jokes. But, yeah, it represents nearly 7% of all Martian material in the world. There are only 400. Who even knew there was that many? There's 400. Connor, there's 400 Martian meteorites. More than 77,000 officially recognized meteors found on Earth. It's pretty wild. Oh, there we go. It matched. That's how they knew. A small piece of rock was sent to a lab, which matched it with rocks that discovered during the Viking space probe that landed on Mars in 1976. So there you go. There you go. So that's how they figured it out. So, anyways, I think that's enough of this stupid story. It's delicious, and then it's sussy.
It's butterfly pea.
But I'm getting smarter as I drink it. So, Melted Syracuse is going to buy it. So, meanwhile, they love naming everything after Lucifer. How can you prove that we're in the little season? Because everything's named after Satan. So you got Lucy, a massive diamond within a dwarf star named Lucy in the constellation Centaurus. It weighs approximately 10 billion trillion carats and is 2,500 miles across. And there's an actual image, drawing, painting. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. If you ever remember that sentence, Ricky Ricardo never said it. There's a Mandela for you. Never said it. And his name isn't Desi Arnaz now. It's Desi Arnaz with an A. That's weird. And another thing about the I Love Lucy show, which was hilarious, I loved it. Of course, everyone did. It's in the title. If you take their names, you've got Lucy, and then you have Fred, F, Ethel, E, and Ricky, R, Lucifer. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. So, what's next? This stunning image from ESA's Mars Express reveals the Korolev crater, which is filled with ice. So there's water on Mars. For that question we never knew, we got plenty of examples now, including that. So there's that for your entertainment. This is China, moon surface. But again, you can go back to the original moon landing guys, and they're going to the moon, and they're super excited and smiles all around, and they come back and they look extremely depressed, like their dog just got run over or something. And they ask them about stars, and they couldn't see any. One guy couldn't see any. One guy could only see him like in the dark at night. And then you go forward in the future, and you got the other guys going up in space and the ISS and the shuttles and whatever, and they could see stars. Some could see them in the day and night. So nobody knows exactly what the correct lie is at this point. But two things I know is China can see them, and they also learned to put tinfoil on all of their space gear. So that's nice. So apparently China can see the stars really bright all the time. And so there you go. They have better cameras? I don't know. But that's it. It's just more of that. This whole video is just that. Wait, is that? Look at that. They still haven't stopped faking these machinery. They all look still as silly as the 1969 one, just saying. So look at all these stars. Look at that. What else we got? And rocks. This is one of the, that's the moon. These are moon rocks, which we still can't seem to find. They've either all been lost, stolen, or proven fake. So there's that. Oh, there we go. Man, look at the technology advancements of this machinery. It's just so impressive. So anyways, enough with that. How do we get out of this one? What's next? We still got more? Oh, they a super Earth has been found in the habitable zone. That's a hard word to say. So it's only 137 light years away. So, and it might also have a second Earth. So there you go. So we have hope, right? Like Wally, we can find somewhere else to go. You laughing at that? Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Let's see. Did we get through all these? Got that one. We didn't get through those two. We can go to do that another time. Well, I do want to discuss this one thing. So when you go back to the stories of the Bible, besides all of the evidence that I was showing you earlier about God's judgment, melting things, let us not forget that, here, let's start with this, that there were giants and giant animals, and most likely this was like a giant dragon, which they call a Dacosaurus, but you can see the teeth in there and stuff. It's just massive, some of these old creatures, and giant trees and people. And then you get to this stuff. There was a flood. God says he wouldn't do it again, although we've shown you a whole bunch of flooding going on. But God said that's what the rainbow was, is that he'll never flood the earth again like he did in the days of Noah. And so what I believe we see is when you read the Bible and the flood happens, we're living on the living space after the waters receded. But they didn't all go away. We're in this environmental dome, and so they're still here with us. And there's not multiple oceans. There's just one. But the land masses that pop up in that, in the living spaces, there's so much underneath the water. I mean, it's written about in Job even, that there's stuff under the water. And so we don't know actually where the ground level is that we live on, because it goes so much farther down. You can say hollow earth, whatever you want to say, but there's depth to this living space. That's why when I left that whole flat earth group is because it's not flat. We're existing on the living space that's circular, that's in the Bible, but then it's on pillars and it's stationary. But then it's encompassed in the firmament because it keeps the waters above and below out. And so when God opened up the firmament and allowed those waters to come in from the top and the bottom, when it receded, we're left with this living space. But that other stuff's still down there. Whoa. Woof, woof. Woof, woof. What's happening? Something's happening. Anyways, so that's the living space that we have left. But there's still stuff under the water. How high did the water go? Did you know on Mount Everest, at its highest peak, there's evidence that it was a seafloor? Now think about that. The highest peak on Earth at one point was underwater to the point that there's evidence of ancient fossils or whatever you want to call them from the ocean floor. That's how high the water got. See, it's beyond our mental capacities to think that the entire earth was flooded to this point, but it was. What is this? Might as well finish these last few tabs. Oh, you've seen all these guys? Everyone's doing this now. Like they look really weird at the camera and stuff, and they type things in the computer. I thought this was interesting. So he shows the hieroglyphics, whatever you want to say. And there's the Sphinx, and he taps his head and he types in Egyptian pyramids. And when you get the size of the pyramids, right? And where is it? The length. He types it in, and you get 365,242 cubits. And then he shakes his head and wiggles his finger, and he asks, how much is a tropical year? And it's 365 hours for, whatever. It's the same number. So 365,242 days and 365,242. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, right? And then you go into, he shakes his head and he taps his computer. The Great Pyramid Giza, what do you write? Coordinates. So you got 29.9792 degrees north, and then he puts in the speed of light, and it's the same thing. So, and he shakes his head and he taps his finger, and he makes the surprised look face and holds his hand over his mouth, and he puts his, they're all doing this. I've seen women doing it now. It's like everyone's doing it. I was thinking of doing one of those. It's really funny to do. And then you got these hieroglyphics that show, obviously you can see it looks like a helicopter, a boat, some kind of spaceship maybe. And he puts his hand on his face and shakes his head and shows you. Yeah, they look like that. And he really does the surprise face. And he types in the family of the, what is it? Akhenaten. And they got these little like small creatures with weird looking heads sitting on their laps. And there they are again. And he squints down because he can't believe what he's seeing. And he types in Orion's Belt constellation. And we've all seen this, at least I think most of us have, that the pyramids match it exactly. You got that going. So then I'm sure he makes a surprise. Oh, wait. What is this? Then they shoot lasers into Orion's belt and they match there. Right? And then he gets really surprised and bloop. And that's it. Isn't that something? So, yeah. I think that's it. What else? Oh, we got this one. What's this tab? Might as well do this one too. What we got here? Oh, yeah, more. I should have shown this earlier. More examples of the dumbed down societies, not as smart as us, building these things with horse and buggy and Wait, there's more than that one, I thought. Oh, yeah, there's a thread of them. There we go. So what's this one? This one's the pyramids we were just looking at. Oh, there's this thing. This thing is the largest unreinforced solid concrete dome ever built. Whoa. And of course, it was built by giant horses, donkeys, and whatever. It's an unreinforced giant dome. And they always have to put a monolith, structure in front of Cyrus's junk. So look at the size of these columns. The history narrative does not make any sense. Like, who's building this? How many people did this take? Did they use up every single resource and how many miles around? I mean, look at the size of this building. It's nuts. Look at that. Not reinforced, yet they were able to build that with horses and buggies and pulleys. Yeah, this is the Pantheon, Rome, Groot. Yeah. So what's next? This is a Pantheon in Greece. Look at that. Oh, this is the music. Look at that. And it's not lost on me or other people that, the columns are all similar. Same thing as the Lincoln Memorial in the United States. I mean, you get the same architecture all over the world, but just coincidental, I guess. And what's this? This is Petra again. We covered Petra. And look at this. Oh, they just went in there and carved that out of the rock for some nobody knows reason. This one is the Temple of Jupiter, and or what's left of it. So you got that. Got that going for you. Look at the size of this one brick or rock or whatever. The size of that. So, and this is massive. I mean, humans are like down here. It's wild. What's next? That will have to put creepy music. Look at the bricks. And I think there's one of these in the Grand Canyon. They don't let you go see it too, I believe. What is this? I mean, it goes on and on and on. You can find evidence of an old world that we can't understand anything about it or how they built it. Where'd it go? Look at that. So for what purpose would somebody spend their whole life hanging upside down, carving this and painting this? And the narrative doesn't make sense. They had to use some other type of machinery, 3D printing, laser technology. I don't know. But that's fascinating. I mean, you can look at this stuff all the time and never understand how they did it. But we're the most technologically advanced than in history, right? No, the machinery got smarter. We got dumber. I don't even remember everyone's phone number. I used to know them all. Now I know like 3 people. One of them was my father, God rest his soul. That's not going to help me. And I've covered this. You should look into this if you haven't watched that episode. I don't even know if it's on the air anymore. But the Great Wall of China, they're not even sure who they were keeping out anymore, because like the turrets and stuff are facing the other way. But if you look at it, it talks about the average height, and it means that there's areas that you could easily climb over. None of this makes sense. Why this was built and how it was built. There's a lot to peel back on this, and we'll probably never know all the real answers, honestly. Look at that. Look at the detail on this. And then you can see, whoops, well, it's gone now. You can't see it now. Where'd it go? This one. You can see the destruction that's happened to these things. So, anyways, more music. What's this one? Oh, we're not going to see it. Look at that. It's just fascinating. And we spend our whole lives like looking at it in awe, not understanding how they did it or why, and then moving on to, what's to eat or who's playing the sport. So, but these massive structures that nobody can explain how they were put together. And I bet throughout this city, there's a ton more of these things too. Look at that. Where's your copper chisel? Yeah. So, thanks, Shawnee B. I try to be entertaining as best I can. But, right? Where's my guy? Oh, I can't find him. He's in here somewhere. Here he is.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Sometimes I feel people say things to see if I'll play a button. So.
That's very true.
Oh, don't get me started. B's now quoting one of the sticks in my craw Mandela effects about in Jaws. He's chumming the fish, and then the giant shark comes up, and he walks back, and it's one of the greatest lines, and he's all in shock, and he goes, "We're going to need a bigger boat," which makes sense because they're on the same boat. But no, apparently he's always said, "You're going to need a bigger boat." But he's on the boat. Anyways, see what you did? Slowly I turn. So let's see. Thanks, Trish. You put that Connor stream in there. Yeah, it's a good one to watch. So, all right. Where are we at? I think we've gotten through pretty much everything. But I do want to discuss this. Like I said before, I'm very transparent. In that this channel is based and always will be that this is a discussion about the times that we're in and the way out of it. It's not going to be savior by man. It's going to be savior through Jesus, and you'll figure it out eventually, and we'll wait for you because it's not a religious thing. I'm not religious at all. And I can prove to you that we're in the little season, at least in my mind.
That makes no sense.
That one, little season.
Pizza.
Because this news article came to me from a friend that sends me things, and I opened it up right before the show, and I'd heard that Stephen Colbert had been canned, but or is that not this one? Yeah, he did. But in 2012, he did a comedy skit, where he got a little person and pretended to do the Moloch sacrifice on television. And everyone laughs. Don't show this? Oh, you're talking to the dogs? I can't tell when she's yelling at me or the dogs. Oh, shoot. But yeah, isn't this something? I mean, it's really something. These are the times that we're in. We're up against an enemy that people don't even realize is there. When you can do this on live TV and everyone laughs. And look what he says. It's really tough. It's really tough. And so, like I've said many times, I turn this camera on to be a watcher and to tell people what I'm seeing. And God opened my eyes, and every day he's opening them more and more. And the thing is we can see the evil in the world. And I keep preaching this. I want everyone to hear me. Was it Bill Cooper or who's the other guy? It might have been Bill Cooper. I always get this one wrong, and the people in the chat correct me. It's where he said that the greatest trick of the devil is to make you think he doesn't exist. But that's not true anymore because everyone agrees. There's evil going on in the world. The television shows are called Lucifer, and the heroes of the stories are, well, like in Supernatural, it became the heroes were a demon, Aleister Crowley, a witch, Satan himself, and his spawn. Those were the heroes of that show. And it's not just that one. I mean, you can go on and on and on. And the trick of the devil now is not to say that he doesn't exist. It's to make you think God doesn't exist. To make you believe that if you had a battery, all you need is one side of it. You don't need the other. But you need both. If evil exists, then good exists. If Satan exists, then God exists. You can't have one without the other. But see, that's another trick of the devil. He makes you think it's about religion. He makes you think it's a choice. Do you choose this religion or do you choose that religion? Are you born again or are you just reborn and keep recycling and all that stuff? It's not about religion. And that's another way that they get us to fight. And then you don't know who the real enemy is. This is a spiritual battle. Like it or not, believe it or not, you're in it. Anyone listening to the sound of my voice and the people that aren't even watching this show, we're all in it. We're in the same boat. It's our boat. We need a bigger boat. We need a bigger boat. But we don't. Do you guys see that thing flying up there? What is that? Weird. I don't see a bug. I don't know. But we're all in this together. There we go. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus with my invisible garlic press. Where are you? There. Get it. No, but seriously, we're all in this together. They make us want to fight with each other and fight about religion and fight about all these different things. And it's not about religion. I'm not religious. Born and raised Jewish. And my entire life, I was taught not to read the Bible, not to believe in Jesus, all the same stuff that a lot of people still kind of tune out when they watch my show because of that. But that is another trick of the devil. The devil wants you to not know who you are and know how to defeat him. And the way you defeat him is through Jesus. He's the one that defeated him. He went up on the cross, whether you know it or not. He did that for you and for me and for everyone. He took that. He was perfect. He's the only perfect person that's ever lived. And he was perfect. He had, what they say, no guile. He no sin. And he went up on that cross and he did it for us. And so when they took his life, that wasn't a life to take. So basically, there's a blank check to cash. He did that gift and he gave it to everyone. I should play that. He gave it to everyone. Everyone! So whether you understand it or not, or believe it or not, he did that for you. And what's wild is, once you start understanding that entire the information, I guess I should say, it gives you pause when you think about what Jesus went through for us. Something that nobody else would do. And he did it. I didn't know he existed. And yet he still did it for me too. And so when you're reading stories or hearing about him, like if you watch, say, The Chosen, think you know the Bible, that's TV. You should read the Bible. The stories are way better. I don't watch that show because I have no desire to. I'd rather just read the story myself. But when you read that and you understand the sacrifice that he went through, it takes your words out of your mouth. It's pretty incredible. And so that is a gift available to anyone. It doesn't matter what your religion was or you think you are. He came not for the, quote, special people. He came for everyone else. Because why? Because the special people of the Bible, a lot of them walked away. Most of them walked away from God and stopped believing in him. When you read the stories, it's pretty fascinating because between the time of Noah's flood And the time of Abraham, by the time Abraham shows up, God says that he was the last righteous person left. He was the only one still listening and following God. That's shocking to me, because think about it. If there was a worldwide flood and only certain people survived, they would be telling those stories to their children and their grandchildren and would keep on going throughout generations. And yet somehow we all forgot God and walked away from him, to the point that it was just Abraham again. It's fascinating. And so what's happening? History is repeating itself. There's no new, it used to be there's nothing new under the sun. Mandela effect changed that to there's no new thing under the sun. But the idea is the same. We cry out because we're in trouble. God saves us. We repent. Then we forget who he is. Then we get enslaved. We cry out for help. Then God saves us. Rinse and repeat. And here we are. Ooh, I got one for that.
And so here we are.
And if you don't like that one, how about this one?
And so here we are.
Okay. But this is where we're at. We're in that side of the story where everyone's forgotten God again. And so here's the takeaway you got to remember. The times that we're in, we're finding are very wicked, obviously. I mean, the news stories and life in general, you can see that. But if this is Satan's little seed,
Pizza.
that also means that there's a pouring out of God's Spirit. And that's why I'm on this channel talking to you right now. And that's why other people on these other channels that are in the chat are talking to you right now. And that's why your eyes have been opened, so that you can also discuss this with people. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to them about it, use it as an example. And when they ask you, why are you so happy through all this misery that's going on, all the suffering in other people's lives, or even your own, why can you be so joyful? And that's what we're here for. We're to be that shining light, that candle in the window. We're supposed to let people know. It's sweet and then sus. What is in that? Look at that. It's like pink and kind of whitish, and probably keel over before the other show. Oh, I'm kidding. But that's why we're here. We are here to be that example, to live our lives in joy, and to understand we're not supposed to be here in fear. God says that in the Bible more than anything. Have no fear. I mean, other than God himself, because, you got to listen to him. The whole world wants you to be afraid of everything, the air you breathe, the food you drink. We just saw a news story the other day. Now they're saying that people are getting flesh-eating disease going in the water in Florida or something. They want you to be afraid of everything. At the end of the day, there's one Savior. There's one way out of this. It's through Jesus Christ. And you find that, and it'll all open up to you. All the answers will come to you with that information. And you can read the Bible. I highly recommend it. It's very useful, very helpful, and very comforting too. But you can find God right now, and you don't even need the Bible. You just need to have a quiet moment by yourself and sit down and have a discussion. Ask him if he's real. Ask him to show himself to you. He reads your heart. If you're truly meaning that, you'll have an experience. I guarantee it. He says so. And everyone's experience is different. But when you have that experience, there isn't a podcast or a book or anything that can change your mind, because you live it and you'll feel it. And so then you go throughout your life, not because you're worried about what other people are going to think or you're going to upset this or that. It's because you want to be the best person you can for God, because he's with you and he's watching you all the time, and he loves you more than anything. He's patient, he's merciful, and he's loving. They don't talk about that when people want to knock him, but that's him. And so it changes your heart. And just like you don't want to disappoint a parent, you don't want to disappoint God. That's how I feel and see it anyways. And so if I'm doing what's right in the world to make God happy and my wife, the rest of it falls into place. So don't forget, besides seeing the miserable stuff in your life and the misery and the sickness and the whatever's going on in your life that's bad, pray on it, because that is one of the most important weapons we have in this spiritual battle. They want to make you think it's nothing and dismiss it, but it is powerful. And when you get more people praying on it, it's extremely powerful. But in addition to that, don't forget to look at the wonderful things that have happened in your life, because everyone's got something that's going on that's good in their lives. And I used to say, oh, that was good luck, or that was, whatever. It's just a complete coincidence, by chance, luck. If you take all that out of your vocabulary and you just say, wow, what a blessing, you'll start counting your blessings and you'll prove to yourself the existence of God. Why do bad things happen to good people? Because we make choices in our life that we ask God to let go for a while. Because if you're truly following and listening to him, he'll steer you in the right way. I found that out, and it's amazing what's happening. And so I might not be blessed in all the different things, but I'll tell you what I am blessed in the love of seeing my family, and the ones that are gone right now and aren't talking to me. I just pray for them that I'll see them again. There's stories in the Bible that happens too. So don't lose hope. Don't lose faith in troubled times. That's what the devil wants you to do. And don't forget, if you ask for a deeper walk with God, the only way you can test your faith and to strengthen it is to be tested in it. It's like I said, go to the gym. If you buy a membership, you'll never get any stronger unless you go. If you want your faith, deeper walk with God, it needs to be tested. That doesn't mean he's checked out. He's right there. But you're supposed to reach out to him. That's what he's there for. And so don't forget that. So I think that's a good couple hours. So, yeah, because that's what's been going on in my life. There's been some crushing things happening in my life right now. But I can thank God right now. Dear Lord, thank you so much for the blessings that you bestowed upon me and my family. We've had health scares. We've had trouble at work. We've had just so many things that could make us sad and weak and fearful. And every single time you've been there and you've brought me and you've brought us through it. I can never repay you for the things that you've given us and the blessings, but I will, for as long as I'm here on earth, with my last breath, I will do what I can to try to barely repay what I can. And I do all this because I know how much you love us and how just amazing and wonderful. I can't even express it. And I thank you so much. And I will continue to ring this bell and try to bring as many people home. And I thank you for opening my eyes. And I thank you for allowing me the voice and the place where I can sing your praises. And you bring me to tears, and you make me speechless, and you drop me to my knees in prayer, because I can't even express how much I love and appreciate what you do for us. So please continue to guide us through these times. Fill our hearts with love and joy. Comfort us with the Holy Spirit. Walk with us when it's scary, and carry us when we can't do it alone. We thank you for all the blessings that you've done, even when we didn't know you were there. And we thank you for all the blessings that you're already thinking about bestowing upon us. And we thank you for your comfort and care. And we ask you to watch over us, help us, guide us, and heal us, and bring comfort to those that are suffering and to the ones that we love. And we thank you and ask this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Okay. I don't know if that was as good as yours, Connor, but that's the best I could do. All right. So put a pin in me. I think I'm done. With that, he says this with a knife in his leg.
Class is dismissed.
Okay. And I adjusted the YouTube thing. I haven't heard a lot of people complaining about a lot of ads, so that's a good thing. But you all are supporting me with super chats and other things, so I'm trying to cut those out. Even if I completely turn them off, YouTube puts them in anyway, so I get a couple of quarters from them, I'll do it. But yeah, so hopefully it was entertaining and enjoyable enough to where you want to hit that like button on your way out, share and subscribe if you have anything interesting you want to share to people. And God willing, let's do this again next Friday. I really, truly love you all. You're an amazing family, and you keep me going. And so you are the wind beneath my wings. I'm not going to sing. Time to go. All right. So we'll see you again. And here's one of the best outros on the, if not the best. Have a good night. God bless you all. Thank you again for all the donations and all the love. Write me, send me, whatever you want. I'll answer everyone. I'll get to you. So thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Good night.
I'm the satellite.
500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.